Hello, ghosties. I'm Chance Lee,
And I'm Amanda McAvoy.
and this is That's So Gothic, a movie podcast about girls, guys, and haunted houses. You know, Amanda, everyone's kind of angry here. It's Massachusetts.
Eileen!
Oh, look what the cat dragged in.
Good afternoon, Eileen.
How's your day, Dad?
It was a day, just another day.
My day was a doozy. It's one of those days you never forget.
Listen up. This young lady is our new prison psychologist. She may be easy on the eyes, but I assure you, she is very smart.
I'm Rebecca.
I know.
I don't think I caught your name.
Oopsie.
Nasty habit. That's why I like it. I live a little differently than most people.
They're probably scared of you.
Prison is no place for a young lady. You got a big life ahead of you, I'm sure.
I'm just kind of average, I think.
You really think you're a normal person? I bet you have brilliant dreams. Eileen, may I confide in you? People are so ashamed of their desires. I have my own ideas.
Kind ideas.
You can never tell anyone, do you understand? Promise me.
Okay.
Love will make you crazy. Love will make you kill. Can't imagine you with a knife.
Can you imagine me with a gun?
That's very good, Eileen.
Yeah, I can see it. You're different these days. It's almost interesting.
Secrets and lies. Some things are so twisted. The only way out's for someone to die.
That was a great trick.
Released in 2023, Eileen was directed by William Oldroyd, with a screenplay by Luke Goebel and Otessa Moshfegh, and it's based on Moshfegh's novel of the same name. It stars Thomasin McKenzie as Eileen, a young woman who works as a secretary at a boys' prison in 1964 Massachusetts. Anne Hathaway as Rebecca, the sexy new prison psychologist. Marin Ireland as Anne Polk, the mother of a boy in jail for killing his father. And Siobhan Fallon Hogan as Mrs. Murray, the head secretary at the prison. And this is the story of, like, I have no idea how to encapsulate this movie. It's a story of loneliness and obsession.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like how much of a bummer it is to live in Massachusetts in the winter.
Yes, it's in the winter and it's set at Christmas time.
Yes. Yeah. And that's a bummer.
It is a bummer.
Yeah.
It's like one of the not like, oh, just everything's dead. Like everything's dead all the time.
Yeah. It's all gray. Yeah.
This movie grossed about $2 million in limited release. And I don't know the budget, but Neon acquired the distribution rights for $15 million to the movie. I don't remember it being in theaters very long. And most, if not all, Neon movies are on Hulu, so you can watch this movie on Hulu. Sheila O'Malley of RogerEbert.com gave it 3.5 out of 4 stars.
Wow.
She writes that Eileen is about a relationship of dangerously blurred boundaries. Eileen, the character, isn't antisocial so much as she is a blank waiting to be imprinted upon. She is so blank, almost anything could be projected upon her. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has an 81% critical tomato and 53% audience rating.
Wow.
I'm not really surprised, I guess. I think people probably don't like that it's not a tidy little package.
Yes. And from what I could see, and we'll get into it with the performers, it seems like a lot of people did not like Anne Hathaway in this movie.
I will have a lot to say about that.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So I think the performances were a little confusing to people, um, and it's definitely not a, um, fast-paced movie. It's one of those movies that's really, really slow until, like, the last 20 minutes, and then it gets kind of insane, and I think if you're not ready for that, it can be jarring.
It doesn't even really have a plot until the
Yeah,
last 20 minutes, which I liked.
exactly. Yes,
What tell us first, you read this book, right, before you saw the movie?
I did, and, um, I don't remember, like, a ton about the book, but I do feel like this movie is a really good representation. There's nothing tremendously changed from the book to the movie, I don't believe. Um, I like Otessa Moshfegh. She's strange. I feel like she writes women characters who are really strange and kind of unlikable, but not even so much unlikable. They're just like not perfect
Mhm,
and sort of like on the outskirts of not even the outskirts of normal society, but they're just not, I guess, what you expect from
mhm.
a character in a novel. Um, so I really enjoyed both the book and the movie. I think they're both really character driven, and that's the main plot is the character, not the plot.
I agree. I had not read this book. I really liked other books of hers that I've read, like My Year of
Mhm,
Rest and Relaxation, but I went into this movie blind, and I'm glad I did. I had no idea what was coming,
mhm.
and in that last 20 minutes, I audibly gasped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so shocked at what
Mhm.
was going on. I thought this movie was phenomenal. So I've this is for the podcast, this was my 3rd time watching
Wow.
it. I really, really like this movie. And somehow though, even though I say that, I had completely forgotten it took place at Christmas. And I was like, oh, it's gotta go on
Yeah.
my Christmas movies list.
Honestly. Yeah, yeah, and I feel like it's very like, intrinsically combined with Christmas, like, it makes so much sense that it's happening at Christmas.
It really does. You're lonely at Christmas.
Mhm.
Like, that's
Yeah.
this undercurrent there.
Mhm.
Because Eileen has her shitty father who she wouldn't wanna spend the holiday with, and the Anne Hathaway character is completely alone because she's just
Yeah,
moved to town for this job.
right.
So, let's talk about the cast and crew of this movie. Almost
Mhm.
everyone we've talked about on the podcast before.
Yeah.
But let's start with Anne Hathaway, whom we haven't. We
Mhm.
briefly mentioned her because she almost starred in Phantom of the Opera.
Right.
And you mentioned, I didn't realize people didn't like her in this movie. I think she is so fucking good in this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. What I saw was I think a lot of people had a problem with, like, her accent, which I thought was weird because I don't think she's supposed to have a Boston accent. I think that
She's
a
not
lot of
from
people
here.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of people thought she was trying to do, but she almost had this, what's the word? Atlantic? What is that called? Like, kind of an old-timey
Mid-Atlantic, like
Mid-Atlantic.
a Betty Davis, like old Hollywood type.
Right. I think her character is, like, supposed to be giving this air of, like, a classic Hollywood bombshell, like, that's the persona she's putting on, and so I think
Mhm.
that's the accent that she's putting on, and I wouldn't be surprised if Anne Hathaway got so into it that she was playing this character who was putting on this fake accent. Um, I think people I can't speak for them, but I feel like maybe people didn't understand that her character is supposed to be strange. Like,
Mhm.
she's supposed to be, like, odd and really performative.
Mhm.
Like, she's not supposed to be this serious doctor who suddenly snaps. She's always been strange. She's always been unhinged. Like, I feel like that's people were kind of maybe struggling with that.
Yeah, because people struggle with stuff that isn't directly told to them.
Mm.
And yeah, the movie doesn't tell you anything, which is why I like it so much.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, she's hot and she's blonde. Like, I don't know. For me, this is like a top Anne Hathaway performance.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like because her character is a liar, like, she is clearly manipulative. Um, I feel like that should at least be a takeaway from it. So she's lying to the audience too.
Hmm.
You're seeing it from, Eileen's perspective, so you're getting lied to as well.
And you're under the spell of her.
Yes. Yeah,
Hmm.
which I definitely was. Yeah, she is hot in this. I love their dancing scene together. Top scene. So good.
I love prior to that when they're getting hit on by the men, and she says I can't remember his name, but she's like,
Yeah.
"Tony, what happened to your teeth?" Like, because he's missing two front teeth.
Yeah. I really admired that scene because that is every so I think in the book it's more obvious, and I can't remember if they mention it in the movie, but this is definitely like a North Shore, Massachusetts town, which is sort of like the North Shore of Massachusetts, I feel like is its own little ecosystem because it's kind of rural, but it's not super far from Boston, so there's still some like urban influence, and then it's also since it's north, it's kind of near New Hampshire, so it creates this very strange melting pot, and I feel like
Mhm.
the bar scene was, like, a really good representation of that. They're, like, kind of like white trash, but they're also, like, Massachusetts assholes, but they also just love drinking and dancing and having fun, like, I feel like that was literally a bar in the North Shore I have been to before.
Oh, yeah, it definitely
They nailed it.
feels very, very real. One of
Yeah.
those Irish bars.
Yes, yeah, they nailed it. This was definitely an Irish Catholic community, 100%.
There's one in Lowell that is not in business anymore called Cappy's Copper Kettle, and I could
Yes.
see that being the name of the bar that they go to.
Yeah, definitely.
There was a period around when Les Mis came out where it was really trendy to hate Anne Hathaway. I don't know if you remember that. I was I just Googled, "Why did everyone online hate Anne Hathaway?" And I found wasn't doing a deep dive into this, but I did find a Reddit board where people were talking about it,
Mm,
and most people were saying that they don't like Anne Hathaway on this Reddit board, and a common thing that came up was that she's, quote, "fake." And I, one, think that's such I'm saying one, like I have any there's not a two, but that that's just such an asinine criticism, and I wonder if that criticism is more common now in our social media era. But they're like, "She always" it's like she's always acting, and so
yeah,
what? She's an
right,
entertainer. I'm glad she's always acting. She is making me feel delight at her
right.
performances,
Yes,
and I bet I'm making assumptions now, but I bet these same people think that the yahoos they watch on YouTube are real, and it's like they have the camera on them all the time. They are
yes,
performing all the time, and they've edited their own videos. Everything about it is performative. You couldn't be more fake.
yes,
I just that blows my mind. But like, who
right.
the fuck cares that she seems fake? She's not your friend. She'll never
No,
be your friend.
exactly. Yeah, I think, people just had a problem with, like, she kind of and I love this about Anne Hathaway, is she never fit into, like, a box type of actress, like, she's not she does a musical at one point, she does, like, an Eileen at one point, she does Devil's Wear Prada, she does, like, weird science fiction movies, like, she kind of goes all over the place, and I love that about her, but I think it makes it harder for people to make assumptions about her, and so their mind just goes to, "Oh, she's fake," and also she doesn't have social media, she doesn't have a public personal life, so people have trouble connecting with her personally, which I think should be the case for celebrities. Um, and so I think if people can't connect with her personally on that level, they just assume that she's not genuine.
Right, and there's definitely misogyny there because no one
Mhm.
says that about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
I I wasn't like, I was a little too old when Anne Hathaway came out with her, like, younger movies, like Princess
Diaries.
Di thank you,
Yep.
and what's the other one that's Ella Enchanted, stuff like that. She was in a lot of
I love
cutesy.
Ella Enchanted.
Is that
Yeah.
good? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kinda missed that era, and then she was in Brokeback Mountain, and
Oh, I forgot she was in that.
she tries really hard. It's unfortunate because I mean, she was still very young, in her
Yeah.
20s, and they start putting the old lady makeup on her and try to make her seem like she's, like, 50, and
Right.
she just of no fault of her own, because she hasn't lived that long, she just doesn't have the life experience to pull off that
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
But I really loved, like, recent, like, last decade Anne Hathaway hardcore.
Yeah.
Um, I really loved The Hustle with Rebel Wilson.
Oh, really?
I don't normally like comedies, but I love that movie, and it's
Yeah.
mostly because Anne Hathaway looks like she's having so much fun. If people don't like and I bet people hate it because Anne Hathaway does so many nutso accents in it.
Yeah.
Every 20 minutes, she's doing a different over the top accent. She's having so
Mhm.
much fun. Um, but around the time of Eileen, she was in a movie called Mother's Instinct with Jessica Chastain. Did you see this one?
No.
I like most of this movie.
Okay.
I won't spoil the parts I didn't like, but Anne Hathaway and it's very Eileen adjacent, I feel like.
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain are housewives in the 50s. I
Okay.
forget where they are in the country, but it's kind of irrelevant. And they have sons who are the same age. They're friends. There's a terrible accident, and
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway's son is killed.
Mm.
And Jessica Chastain's character feels guilty because she feels like she was this close to saving him and failed.
Oh. Okay.
And she wonders if Anne Hathaway's character blames her for it. And their relationship starts to kind of crumble and sour. And then people in Jessica Chastain's life just kind of start dropping dead.
Mm.
So you're left wondering what's going on.
Yes.
It's a great movie, and Anne Hathaway isn't blonde, which is fine, but she does have
Okay.
the perfect like 50s like helmet hair and
Yeah, the
just the
coif.
coif and the
Yes.
fashions. And Jessica Chastain is also always a knockout. So
Mhm.
the two of them going head to head is really fun to
Yeah.
watch. So I do recommend Mother's
Oh,
Instinct.
okay.
Do you have a favorite Anne Hathaway role?
Ooh, um, well, it's so funny because yeah, I loved Ella Enchanted growing up. I loved the book, I loved the movie. Um, my goodness, what do I love her in? I actually really loved her in Les Mis. Um, God, I'm, like, totally blanking on anything else she's been in. I do like The Devil Wears Prada. Um,
There's a new one coming out.
yes, which I don't know how I feel about. I will probably see it in theaters, but I'm interested to see how they do that.
Hmm.
Um, oh, she was Catwoman. I actually really liked her Catwoman. I wonder if that was also a part of the reason, because I think it was around that time she started getting a lot of hate. I feel like people didn't like her as Catwoman.
That came
'Cause
up on that Reddit board.
yes, because I think people, when they thought of Catwoman, they thought of, like, very femme fatale, sexy bombshells, and frankly and like, she's not that. I mean, I think she's hot, and I think she's sexy, but she's not, you know, um, what's her face? Halle
Michelle
Berry,
Pfeiffer or
Michelle
Halle
Pfeiffer.
Berry. Yeah.
Yeah, like, she's not one of those, so I think a lot of people didn't like her because of that, but I liked her Catwoman. I thought it was good. Um, I feel like I actually haven't seen that many Anne Hathaway projects. One of my coworkers is always talking about how much she loved The Intern, the movie that she's in with Robert De Niro, where
Okay.
he's like he's like a, 70-year-old intern. She swears by it. She says it's
Okay.
very funny and charming.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's really I don't have a lot of, Anne Hathaway strong opinions, I guess, on her films, but she never has really done, like, television or anything, has she?
I would be surprised because I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
She still is like an old school Hollywood actress, I feel like.
Right. So I was trying to think of, like, has she been in, like, an HBO, like, miniseries or something? And I can't think of anything.
I can't either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising. I feel like I love her, but I can't and maybe that's another reason why people aren't, super crazy about her is, like, you feel like you love her, but you can't really pin down what you love her in, but
Mhm.
I do really I enjoy everything I see her in.
And I even though this is to me irrelevant, that when people share stories about their personal interactions with celebrities and
Mm.
use that as, like, indicative of their entire character, but that said, on the Reddit board where everyone was talking about how much they hated Anne Hathaway, there were at least 2 people who had been on a set with Anne Hathaway or had met Anne
Mm.
Hathaway and said she was one of the nicest people that they had ever met before. They were, like, the
Wow.
dissenting voices on this on this Reddit board.
Fighting for her.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for whatever
Yeah, I
that's
think
worth.
it's very important to separate, like, I am a huge proponent, like, a thing I'm very passionate about is avoiding parasocial relationships with celebrities or, like, sort of imbuing your own opinions on them and making assumptions, but she seems like a sweet person. Well,
She seems very genuine to me, which again is why I'm baffled that everyone thinks she's fake because she
yeah,
seems the opposite to me.
exactly.
So we also have Thomasin McKenzie, star of this film. We
Mhm.
talked about her briefly in Power of the Dog because she's
Yep.
briefly in Power of the Dog. Um, 2021, which was the year of Power of the Dog, was a big year for Thomasin McKenzie. She was in Power of the Dog, Last Night in Soho,
Mm.
and Old.
She was an old
Old. She's when the little girl gets old, and she's the teen version of the girl as she's getting old.
Oh, okay, okay. She's the in between.
Mhm,
She is
and she is in the new Amanda Seyfried film, Testament of Anne Lee, the Shaker movie.
I wanna see that.
I'm very curious about that one.
Mhm.
Um, so we've talked about her a little bit. She's from New Zealand. She kind of came out of nowhere,
Mhm.
and I think she's so good in this movie.
I think so too. I really like her. I think she does a pretty good the thing is too is I feel like the Boston accent in the '60s was very different from the Boston accent now, and so, like, I tried to keep that in mind when watching it, especially the second time, and I feel like she had a very similar accent to older people I know now from the area.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if that's intentional or whatever, I don't know how much she prepped for it or, but I think she did really good, like, I really like her in this, I liked her accent, which again, I think was a lot of people's problem with the movie. Um, I thought she was really odd, like, she played strange well.
Mhm.
She's just kind of a peculiar young girl, and I love that.
She has no friends. She's
Mhm.
just kinda bleak,
Yeah,
lonely. Yeah, she really captures it well,
yeah,
and then the longing that she has, the kind of attraction that she develops towards Rebecca.
yes. I love the way she smokes. She's a very pretty smoker, and you
Mm,
kind of see the progression of her starting to smoke. I mean, I don't think it's like, when she first starts, but, like, she kinda gets better at it as the movie goes on, and I just really enjoy that. I don't know why, I just like, I thought that was a really fun detail. She gets better at smoking. Um, this is, like, one of those movies that, like, makes me wanna take up smoking because they just look so chic doing it.
they really do. I love when her dad tells her, "Don't ash on the floor, it's tacky."
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Chad is really funny in this movie. I think I
He
forgot how funny he is.
He is such an awful person, but he's also hilarious.
Yeah, he sucks. He's terrible. Um, but he has some really funny lines. Yeah, the ashing on the floor is really great. Um, I feel like their relationship is like very I would say almost more important than the relationship between her and Rebecca in a lot of ways, the relationship with her and her father.
Mhm.
Um, so the scenes with them I just found like really interesting and I didn't like those were the scenes that really caught my attention. I mean, I loved the whole plot line with Rebecca and everything too, but I really in like a sadistic kind of way enjoyed watching the scenes with her dad.
Oh, yeah. They're phenomenal and just
Yeah.
riveting and disgusting and
Mhm.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Thomasin McKenzie is so good in this.
She's a star.
Yeah. How does Rebecca describe her, Anne Hathaway? She's like a Dutch painting, peculiar, but
What?
like
She says she's got, like, a plain face too or
yeah,
something.
she's like a plain face, but also like fiery or something like that. But I just remember I think she uses the term Dutch painting,
I
and
believe
I
she
feel like that
does.
is so accurate.
Rebecca says she looks like a Dutch painting with a face that's plain but fascinating with a beautiful turbulence.
That's what it is, beautiful turbulence. Yeah, she does kind of remind me, Thomasin McKenzie. Her face kind of reminds me of the girl with the pearl earring. Very
Okay.
similar vibe. Yeah, I could see that.
There's a new book that I can't remember the title of it, but it has the girl with the pearl earring on the cover.
Mm.
But I think the book title has does the book title have the word Mona in it? And I'm like, these aren't the same person. What's happening here? I'm so confused.
Getting real fast and loose with classical paintings.
It's called Mona's Eyes,
Oh,
but it's
never.
girl with the pearl earring on the cover.
Oh,
That's not
that's
Mona.
confusing. Yeah,
I saw it
that's not Mona.
that's I said, "That's not Mona." I saw it
Yeah.
at my library. I said, "Who I don't that's not Mona. I don't know her name. She's just a girl."
Yeah.
So we also have Marin Ireland in this one.
Hmm.
You'll have to go back and listen to our episode on The Dark and the Wicked. We,
Yeah.
raved about her
Hmm.
in that because she is phenomenal. And again, I remember mentioning on that episode, like, I really like her, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, like, a bunch of people really like her, and I'm not quite sure why. Not because she's not good, because I just don't know what people know her from.
Yeah.
And in I think it was the Roger Ebert review, they said something like, "An always fantastic Marin Ireland." And it's like, I mean, I agree, but, like, where is this coming from?
Right. Yes. Yeah. She's like this. Like I feel like she has a cult following. Like
Yeah.
people really enjoy her, and yeah, I do too. Because I think we talked about it in that episode. Like she also narrates audiobooks, and she ended up narrating like a couple that I've listened to, and I was just like, whoa. Where did this come from? But also I remember, like, liking those books, and I'm pretty sure I liked the narrator, so it's a Renaissance woman.
I bet she'd be good if she narrated this book.
Mm. My goodness. I think she narrates, um, like, all of Kevin Wilson's books now because she
Okay.
narrated, the one that I listened to.
Looks like Marin Ireland also narrated Remarkably Bright Creatures, which I didn't read, by Shelby Van Pelt. Do you think she does an octopus accent when she reads that?
I hope she does. Okay, Alyssa Bresnahan was born in Brookline, Massachusetts, which is not far from where I think Eileen takes place, so I guess that makes
Mhm.
sense. And then she's married to an actor, James Colby, who does he sound familiar to you? I don't know him. He
I don't think
apparently
so.
was in the 1997 movie The Peacemaker. He was in Tower Heist, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Patriots Day. And apparently he was like one of the main characters on Chicago PD. Um,
Oh,
but he was born in Arlington, Massachusetts.
okay.
So, little Massachusetts couple.
Yeah.
And she narrated Eileen.
Okay. Did you read it or listen to it?
I read it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have no opinions on that audiobook narrator, but I still think it should have been Marin Ireland.
Yeah, she should just do all the books.
honestly.
So this movie was directed by William Oldroyd,
Mhm.
who directed Lady Macbeth, which we talked about 1,000 years ago with
Yeah.
Florence Pugh. This was only his second feature film.
Hmm.
He created the new Netflix show His and Hers with Tessa Thompson and John Bernthal.
Oh, that's really new, isn't it?
It's new. Netflix can't stop recommending it to me. And when I read that he created it, I now want to watch it.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I thought that was like a thriller, isn't it? Like an almost
I
like an action thriller.
That's what the poster, if you can call it that, the
Yeah,
graphic looks like.
right. Interesting. But you know what? I do think it's a book adaptation.
Okay.
And that seems to be because I think Lady Macbeth was a book adaptation. So that
Yep.
seems to be maybe his niche.
Gotcha. Yeah, maybe it is.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, I am curious because I also like Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
but I want to give a special shout out to Siobhan Fallon Hogan, who plays the head secretary
Yeah,
at the prison. I love her. She's like a that guy of character actors.
she
She's
is.
been in film since 1994. She
Hmm.
was in Forrest Gump. She was in The Paper. I remember her vividly from Men in Black.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was waiting to see if you said it. She, I think, is like the most memorable part of Men in Black.
The only thing I remember about Men in Black.
She's so good because she's the wife of is it Earl? Is that his name? The
I think
farmer who
so.
yeah,
The one who becomes he gets
yeah.
possessed by an alien.
Yes, because I just
Edgar,
remember
Edgar, Edgar.
Edgar, that's what it is. Because I just remember her being like, "Edgar, are you feeling all right?" Like,
I remember she says something like, "It wasn't Edgar. It was something in an Edgar suit."
yes. She's so good.
She's in at least 3 Lars von Trier movies. She's
Really?
written 2 of her own movies, which I haven't seen. Her first one, called Rushed in 2021, was co-produced by Lars von Trier. She was in Holes. She was in Funny Games. She was on The Golden Girls. She was on Seinfeld. She was on 30 Rock. She's on What We Do in the Shadows. She was on Only Murders in the Building. And she was on the 1992 season of Saturday Night Live.
What? What a
Yes.
renaissance woman.
She was on with Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman, Mike Myers, Chris Rock, like Tim Meadows, David
Oh,
Spade, Rob Schneider. Like she was on Adam Sandler. She was on with those people.
wow. She should have lasted long, but also I think her talent would have been squandered, so I'm glad she left.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know the story behind it. She was on that
Yeah.
one season. Um, but I was really blown away.
Oh my goodness, if she writes a biography, I wanna read it. What a fascinating life.
Yeah, I know when she's in a movie, she's gonna be great.
Yes. Yeah.
She's always great.
Yeah. She has what does she say in this movie? Like, she has a line where she says, like, "Look what the cat dragged in." Or and then she, like, says that she's, like, on her period or something. She's like, "It's your time of the month."
With
Oh,
the
she's so good in it.
I was watching it with Andrew, and
Mhm.
he couldn't stop laughing when Eileen I think it's when she's late to work because 'cause she's been
Yeah.
hungover and she slept in her own puke, and she
Mhm.
finally shows up, and Siobhan Fallon is like, you know, "What's wrong with you?" And Eileen says, "I think there's something going around." She says, "You look like you've been going around." And then she says to the other woman, she goes, "She's a boozer."
He's a boozer.
But we've been saying that for like a month. "You look like you've been going around."
That's so good. Oh my goodness.
So let's talk about the Gothic elements
Mhm.
of Eileen. Our Gothic films have 4 elements: a girl,
Mhm.
a guy, a house, and a haunt. Um, let's start with our girl and guy. I would like
Okay.
to proposition that Eileen is our girl
Okay.
and Rebecca is our guy.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think especially in the final scenes of the movie. Normally, I don't
Mhm.
mind talking about spoilers on the podcast, but I really do feel like if you haven't seen this movie, I think the
Yeah,
surprise element is really effective,
I think
and
so
you
too.
should go watch it.
Yes. Um, I definitely agree with that, and spoiler for the analysis, this is one that I think I'm gonna have a hard time figuring out the Gothic elements to, so I'm glad you already sort of established that,
Mhm,
um, because it is definitely that's the setup for sure, is Eileen is this girl who's very naive and, you know, um, sort of drawn into the mythical nature of Rebecca.
mhm.
Um, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
And I think a lot of times the Gothic guy misleads the girl, whether intentionally or not, and
Mhm.
Rebecca has definitely misled Eileen. I'm not quite sure if she's aware of it or not.
Yeah.
I really wasn't quite sure, but it also didn't matter. Um,
Right.
but yeah, so at the end of the movie, so the setup is that there's a boy in prison. I forget his name. The last name's Polk,
Yeah.
because he
Lee.
Lee Polk, because he
Yep.
killed his dad, who was also a police officer, and
Mhm.
Marin Ireland plays the mother. And
Mhm.
it turns out that Lee was being sexually abused by his father. The mother not only knew about it, but kind of like aided and abetted the father.
Mhm.
And Anne Hathaway has somehow gotten into this woman's house and tied her up in the basement and is trying to get a confession out of her.
Yeah.
And on Christmas Eve, and she
Yeah.
has coaxed Eileen over for the premise of hanging out with her on Christmas Eve to have a witness to her confession.
Mhm.
Um, and I I don't even know. Like you're kind of rolling along and you think
Yeah.
that Rebecca is, as you said earlier, just typically crazy. She opens the door
Mhm.
and she has a cat literally just like clawing at her as soon as she opens the door.
And I love it. She just lets the cat go outside. She's
Throws the
that
cat out the
she says
door.
like, "That cat's fucking crazy," and just lets it go.
And then the phone rings and she just picks up the phone and puts it down.
Hangs it up.
Um,
Yep.
she doesn't know where anything is in the kitchen, but by this point,
Mhm.
you just assume why would she? She's fairly new
Right.
to town. She that she just seems ethereal. She doesn't know where shit is in her own kitchen. They're drinking wine out of teacups and eating like old cheese from the fridge. And then all
Yep.
of a sudden she says, "This isn't my house. This is the Polk house." And I
Mhm.
gasped out loud.
Yes.
Floored.
Yeah. I do kind of wish I had part of me kind of wishes I had watched the movie without reading the book, because in the book, I mean, it's very shocking in the book, but I think it's harder to be shocked when reading something because you feel a little bit more anticipation. Um, and also, I think just the visual of watching this character, Rebecca, being in the house and just like opening drawers and, like you said, just kind of being scatterbrained, you really don't expect it. I think you get a little bit more of a sense of dread when you're reading the book. And
Mhm.
also, just knowing Otessa Moshfegh and the type of book she writes, like, I was just kind of anticipating something weird happening. Um, but yeah, if you don't know, it is a wild twist. And I feel like even if you know, it's still done very well. Um, and it's still very shocking. I absolutely adore it. But yeah, she definitely coaxes Eileen to come to this house, and you feel so bad for Eileen because she's all, like, dressed up, she's, like, so excited to spend Christmas with this woman who she, like, adores and is developing some sort of feelings for, like, it's your heart kinda breaks for her.
I know, and then Eileen will do anything she tells her to do, so she
Mhm,
agrees to stay. She goes to the car and gets her dad's gun because her dad is also a former cop,
mhm.
and she ends up shooting Mrs. Polk.
Yeah. Which, honestly, the scene leading up to it, I don't wanna get into, like, details because it is so disgusting and disturbing the way this woman talks about how everything goes down.
Mhm.
Totally justified. Should've just killed her on sight, like, it was just awful, um, but it's kind of this, like, weird it's so funny because when it happens, and this is what I was gonna kinda allude to at the beginning when you said, that Rebecca was kind of the guy and Eileen was kind of the girl, is I feel like once it happens, because then it was a little unclear, but I think it's she doesn't actually die until they give her pills, right? Is that
They put a bunch of pills in her mouth, and I'm
Yes,
not sure if that's intended just to sedate her or to kill her, but
or or if, like, she gets so sedated that she's gonna bleed out from the gunshot wound. I'm not really but I think that's kind of the point, is it's a little bit ambiguous how she dies. You don't really know
Mhm.
who or why or what killed her. Um, but it's kind of funny because at that moment, Eileen kind of, like, switches, like, something goes on, and she just, like, knows what to do, and she's like it's like she's been preparing for this. Like, she has the plan, she kind of, like, takes control of the situation. Rebecca is kind of hysterical and, like, crazy and, like, "What the fuck?" Um, so it's, like, a very unexpected dynamic switch.
Eileen takes control.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love when Rebecca says, "Why did you shoot her?" And Eileen just goes, "She upset me."
She upset me. Yeah. I feel like it really clicks in that moment, like, "Oh, Eileen is also like, you kind of knew she was strange. Like, oh, she's also batshit." Like,
She's
yeah,
unhinged, yeah, because
yeah, and I
she
love
often
it.
has these fantasies either about shooting herself or shooting her
Yes.
dad,
Yeah.
and she ends up, framing her dad for the
Yeah.
murder?
Yeah, I
Um,
don't think that's what ends up happening, but that's what she says she's going to do.
okay. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
because Rebecca kind of abandons her and never comes to help, and she ends
Mhm.
up leaving Mrs. Polk in her, uh, her car that's always, like, pumping exhaust right directly into
Yes.
the cabin.
Yep. Yeah. Um, and it is funny because, like I said, it almost feels like Eileen has been planning this, and I'm not saying that, like, the book like, this aspect of the book makes it better. I feel like in a way it's almost better in the movie, but in the book, after this happens, you get a little bit more information on what happens to Eileen after.
Oh, tell us.
She, like, goes off. She has a string of lovers, and I think she has a family. I'm not really sure if she has kids, but, like, she lives a great life, like and, it could be a farce, like, this could be you never really know if Otessa Moshfegh is, like, lying to you or, like, whatever, but, like, I like to take it as face value, like, she seems to have been truthful with the audience up until that
Mhm.
point, so why would she lie now? But, yeah, she goes off and she just, like, lives the friggin' high life. She changes her name. So there is almost an element of, like, was she kind of anticipating this? Like, has her life been leading up to a moment, something so dramatic that it forces her to change course?
Right.
She has a ton of money saved up. She grabs a bunch of bills, shoves them into her pockets, and she's, like, ready to go.
I love that for her. Living the
Yeah,
dream.
right. The American dream.
It kind of is.
Honestly.
Liberated freedom. It's freedom.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, she goes hitchhiking. Yeah, she goes off and has a great life.
Oh, I love to hear that for her.
Yeah. Yeah, and she leaves Rebecca behind, who was, like, kind of a manipulative asshole to her, so,
Yeah.
I love Rebecca. I love lesbians, but, like, she still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I get so conflicted with her because I'm just not sure if she's unaware how much Eileen cares for her or if she just
Mhm.
doesn't care.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, honestly.
Yeah. She's fixated on her job, so to speak. She's just
Yes. Yeah.
fixated on caring for these boys and kind of getting
Yes.
revenge on the part of the boy that's in prison.
Yeah, I think she definitely has, like, a savior complex.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I feel like we don't really have a house, but we do have, like, all of Massachusetts, which is,
Yeah.
a little oppressive, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
Massachusetts in the winter.
Yeah. It is pretty gothic. We'll give it that.
Yeah, it's these old New England homes, like, I feel like I've been in these houses,
Yep.
even though I hate to say, they filmed this in New Jersey.
It's wild, but honestly, I used to really hate New Jersey. I used to have, like, a lot of issues with New Jersey. Um, I've grown to appreciate it a little bit more, and I think that's because I feel sort of a kinship with New Jersey,
Mhm.
and so I guess that makes sense. I feel like New Jersey and Massachusetts, they should set aside their differences and come together. Uh,
Maybe it's
I
because 'cause
f
they're so similar, that's why they're such at odds.
Yes, honestly, like, Massachusetts is, like it's yeah, honestly, I understand. I get I respect you, New Jersey, now.
I love that, that's growth.
Yeah, it is. I think honestly a huge part of it was I realized how much I hate Connecticut. Fucking hate Connecticut, so I
Oh,
feel like
I bet New Jersey also hates Connecticut, so I bet you, like,
Mhm.
united, the enemy of our enemy is my
Yes.
friend, yeah.
Yes, honestly, I think they do because it's like a whole tri-state sort of thing. Um, so yeah, I think New Jersey and Massachusetts share a lot of similarities and a lot of that dreary Gothic, uh, feeling, so that makes sense.
Yeah, and they were being developed around the same time, so a lot of the houses do look virtually
Yeah.
identical, and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the houses in this definitely look I mean, I feel like I live in a house that looks like this, like, it's
It could be any neighborhood, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it feels very apt.
And then we don't really have a haunt. I had suggested, like, I don't know, the dad, he kind of this phantom in the house. Like, he never leaves the house. I mean, we know he's
Yeah.
alive and he's not a ghost or something. But in a different story he could be because I don't know if he ever, I mean, they other characters know about him, but none of the other main characters do. Rebecca doesn't know about him, and
Yeah, yeah, that's
he
true.
seems to never leave, and he's just there to terrorize.
Yeah, yeah, he there's definitely, like, a overhanging sense of, like, dread, he it is implied, I don't know if you picked up on this, it actually took me until the second watch. It's actually implied that he was sexually abusive to her sister, but
Oh.
I don't think Eileen. And I can't remember if they brought it up more in the book. The reason why I noticed it this time is because there's a part where she's driving him and he kind of like starts feeling her up a little bit and Eileen up and he says, oh Joni. And like I kind of had a moment where I was like, is that her mother's name? And then I was like, I think that might be her sister's name.
Oh, I
I
thought it
looked
was her
it up.
mother's name.
Yeah, Joni is actually the sister. So, I think that kind of adds an element too where Eileen was especially upset at the end
Yes.
because I think it's implied that he was not because she says like, "Dad, it's me, Eileen," and he stops. So I think it's implied that he was abusive towards her sister in that way, but not to Eileen. That adds like a whole psychological element that I am not smart enough to really delve into. Um, but yeah, there's definitely this like overhanging sense of dread. He's a veteran, I believe, too, from
Oh oh, maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. I know he was a retired
or
cop.
something. Yeah, he says something. He actually, it's kind of a funny line where he says something about how he like has seen dead bodies. I don't know. It's yeah, there's definitely trauma, I would say, if we had to go
Oh.
for a haunt would be maybe a haunt.
Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. We never see the sister. We
Mhm.
know she doesn't talk to him. We know she doesn't live nearby. She's left. So a lot of that comes more clearly into the picture.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
and
Oh, wow.
she could even be almost like this haunting thing because he refers to her sometimes, he compares Eileen a lot to her, says how she's gotten married and moved on and, she's, like, sort of this perfect daughter. So,
Wow.
yeah, um, very gross.
It's gross, but it's complex and, like,
Mhm.
I didn't even realize that. I like how nuanced the movie makes it out to be.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a movie that tells you anything. You just have to infer all of
Yeah.
this, and I did not infer that. I missed that.
Yes, well, like I said, I didn't and I cannot remember because I know the sister is a little bit more of a character in the book, she, like, comes over for dinner, I think,
Mhm.
um, but can't remember if that I can't imagine they made it up for the movie, so it must have been at least inferred in the book,
Right.
but, like, it did not stick with me from the book, and like I said, it wasn't until the second time watching it that I was like, "Wait a minute."
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple bonus Gothics as well.
Mhm.
I think at some point we decided Christmas was Gothic, so it being Christmas is a
Yes.
bonus Gothic. There's often a form of sapphic love in a Gothic story, so we have that as well.
Mhm.
I couldn't think of anything else though. Any other bonuses? There's no. Oh, does someone play Piano at the Christmas in Prison um, play?
I don't know. That's a very funny scene.
I fucking love Christmas in Prison.
Yes.
With the boy dressed up as the Virgin Mary.
Yeah. I can't remember, so I mean, someone might be for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with all that in mind, do you think this movie is Gothic, Gothish, or no Gothic?
I kinda don't think it's Gothic, but I could be swayed to Gothish. How do you feel about it?
I'm on the Gothish side of
Okay.
things. I think it might just be for me, the stuff that I resonate with the Gothic stories, this, like, feeling of being trapped, this desire for
Mhm.
freedom, the strength of Eileen as a Gothic heroine, the,
Yeah.
smart but naive, but she gets herself out of this situation at the end, she saves herself, and the relationship with Rebecca, I feel like is very Gothic. Rebecca is a very Gothic name just from
That's true.
Rebecca. I don't know if that went into the, thought process of naming that character at all. I actually don't know what the name Eileen means.
Mm.
Let's see. Eileen,
I feel like
this Google result says that Eileen is the Irish form of the name Helen, which is derived from the Greek Helene, meaning light, bright, or shining.
wow. Learned something new.
So, yeah, so I just the mood of it is so Gothic to me.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Okay. I'm
but it
swayed.
is lacking in some of the like, especially the house. We're lacking in
Mhm.
a good strong house.
Yes. Yeah. But, the atmosphere is pretty Gothic. Like you said, I kinda Christmas is very inherently Gothic. You're right. I kind of forgot about that aspect. It's so true, though.
Yeah, so I vote Gothish.
Okay. I'm swayed. We'll do Gothish.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Damn.
Yep. Let's hammer the gavel.
Yep.
Gothic court is adjourned.
Yes.
Are there any memorable scenes we didn't discuss that you wanted to talk about?
I feel like we covered a lot of them. Um, no, the only thing I can think of is like the scene where Eileen gets her father's gun put in her custody. I don't know why that scene like stands out to me. Kind of funny. It's also just like Berry, Massachusetts. I feel like the cop comes up and is like, "Eileen, we gotta talk about your dad." Like it's very like hometown Massachusetts kind of vibes. Like the cops just knowing each other. Like it's there's something about it that's very like charming to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could, you know, I would really point out. What about you?
There's one line that I wanted to mention, and
Mhm.
just to tie it back into the Rebecca character, apart from her manipulative tendencies, and also, I don't know, maybe this ties into why Anne Hathaway is so good at it if people think she's acting all the time and she's fake, but this is a woman in a very male-dominated field that is not taken seriously,
Uh,
and so she
True.
needs to act this way to be taken seriously,
Mhm.
and when they first introduce her to the prison, the warden, I don't know who's in charge, and he says, "She may be easy on the eyes, but trust me, she is smart."
Yes. Yeah.
And that is just, like, so funny and really just, I think, encapsulates her struggle, um, and just, like, because she must feel trapped and powerless in
Yes.
similar ways.
That is true. That is true. She does frequently mention that she went to Harvard. I
That's
think
true.
at some point, someone questions her about it. Like, they ask her if she went to can't remember, but she's like, "No, I went to Harvard." It's very funny.
Well, what a great movie. I'm glad we talked
Mhm.
about it.
Yeah.
What else have you been enjoying lately?
I won't get into it too much. Actually, I can't even remember. I don't think I brought it up the last episode. The only thing I've really been doing so I have tried to make it a point to watch more TV in the new year because I never watch TV. Um, so I've started watching The Following with Kevin Bacon. And the only reason I'm gonna bring it up, because I feel like I could talk about it for a long time, but the only reason I'm gonna bring it up is because Marin Ireland is in it,
Uh,
who I kind of like, I realized, but you actually pointed it out when I was talking to you about the show, like, a couple of weeks ago, and it just got me thinking how good she is, and she is so good in this show. She has one of my favorite scenes, and I kinda don't wanna, like, spoil it or anything, and she's not in it a lot. I think she's only in 2 or 3 episodes. She's not a major character, but she has one of the greatest scenes I've ever seen in my life in a television show. It's so good, it's so gross, so violent. I'm obsessed. But yeah, I finished the 1st season of The Following. Cannot believe it was a cable television show. I
no,
just started the
it was
2nd.
network. It wasn't even cable, it was network.
Yeah, that's right, network. Like, I just started the 2nd season. I thought I was gonna give up after 1 season. I'm, like, 3 episodes into the 2nd, and it's still batshit crazy and so much fun to watch. So,
You're in for the long.
recommend it. It's so ridiculous. And for someone who like me, who doesn't watch TV, because I have trouble wanting to finish something, I'm, like, dying to keep watching. So, if you also have trouble watching TV, highly recommend it. Kevin Bacon, surprisingly very good.
Is she one of the cult members?
She is, yes.
Oh, that makes I'm gonna have to watch at least until I see her, I think.
Because I really want you to see the scene because I wanna talk
Okay.
to you about it, but I don't wanna spoil it because
No, don't spoil it. I'm gonna watch it.
I won't. Yeah. Yes. The 1st season is something like 15 episodes, and they're each an hour, so it's, like, kinda crazy, but I think it's somewhere in the middle. Like, I don't think it's super close to the end, so,
Okay.
um, I think you can make it. And
I'll keep trucking
honestly
along. I watched 2.
yes. Honestly, too, like, if you wanted to, you could probably skip a couple episodes. It's so batshit crazy that I feel like there is a lot of context, like, you'd probably be confused, but if you just dropped yourself in the middle of it anywhere, you would at least be having a good time. Like, you might not know what's happening, but you would be like, "Oh, it's a good time." So,
It's
um,
very fast paced.
it's super fast paced. You don't get a break. Like, it's even though it's 15 episodes and yeah, I mean, I think technically since it's a TV like a, um
It had commercials.
yes, so I think technically it's like 40 minutes or whatever, but it's wild. And some of the action scenes are, like, really well done. Um, a lot of the characters make super frustrating decisions, which I weirdly kind of enjoy because it keeps the plot going. So it's like, "Oh my god, how did you make such a stupid decision?" But also, "Thank you because now we get more of this." Like It's I, like, cannot speak highly enough of it. It's so much fun.
I was not expecting you mentioned it to me, and I watched a couple episodes, and yeah, I
Mhm.
was not expecting what I got, and I
Yeah.
can't imagine watching it on, like, real TV and then, getting a, I don't know, progressive commercial after some of the stuff
Yes.
that happens.
Yes, because I am watching it on Tubi,
I guess that's true, we
and
do get commercials
yeah,
anyway.
so we do get some commercials, and it's like and I will say too, I am so happy this isn't really a spoiler, semi-spoiler, but also kind of not. I'm so happy I did not watch this as it came out because the 1st season ends on the most insane cliffhanger.
Oh,
Like,
dear.
I've watched TV shows where there have been cliffhangers, and never in my life have I watched because I actually when I was watching it, it was, like, late at night, I was like, "Oh, cool, I'll finish this season, and then I'll go to bed." I had to watch the first 10 minutes
Wow.
because I couldn't stand it. Um, it's wild that they left it on that. I cannot my heart goes out to anyone who watched it as it aired. Like, I you are truly God's strongest soldiers. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, it's got a tooks in ya, I love it.
Yes, so it's very fun time. Yeah, that's and if I finish all 3 seasons, I will give an update, which
Report
I think I
back.
might, so, yeah. Anyways, what have you been enjoying?
Yeah, so I have another documentary
Oh,
recommendation.
I love your documentaries.
This one's called Secret Mall Apartment, and do you know about this? I did not know about
About
this.
it, but I haven't watched it, but I wanna see it so bad.
So this is about a group of artists who lived inside the Providence Place Mall in Rhode Island
Mhm.
for 4 years from 2003 to 2007. I moved to New England in 2004, so I would think
Mm.
I would have remembered this from being on the news, but I did not know about this at all.
Yeah, yeah. I did not hear about it at all on the news. I feel like I mean, they must have reported on it.
They reported on all sorts of dumb shit, like, you'd think I would have heard about this. This is
Yeah.
nuts. It's a really, really good documentary. I love the Providence Place Mall, but
Yeah.
they go into the history of the mall being built
Mhm.
and the gentrification of that area and the displacement of the people who were living there because they tore down a lot of buildings and stuff to build that mall, and
Yeah.
basically the tenants were kicked out. They, property developers bought these mill buildings that people were living in and evicted them and tore them down and built them all. So that was part of their mission statement for living in the mall. Like, we used to live here.
Mhm.
This mall took over, and they talk to everybody and go through the whole process. It's really crazy what they did. They lived in this kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, but this, like, weird nebulous space that was almost just like dead space left over from when the mall was being constructed, and so no one ever went back there. But not only did they kinda move in, they brought in furniture. They built a wall and installed their own door and lock.
Wow.
Like, it's really crazy.
Yeah.
But what to me was most fascinating is, like, this says more about me than the documentary, but I hear, like, a bunch of young artists lived in the mall. I was like, "Oh god, these people are gonna be insufferable, aren't they?"
Mm.
No, they honestly, they seem great. I
Oh,
I was like, I was almost trying to find something that I hated, which again says more about
right.
me than the movie, and I couldn't. I
Yeah.
thought they were fantastic. I loved it. Really great movie, and what's fascinating too, so the main guy, the guy whose idea it was, his name's Michael
Mhm.
Townsend, he's still alive. Um, he did this really cool art installation that they show in the movie where he just I don't even wanna spoil it. He did something in, like, an abandoned train tunnel in Providence.
Oh.
But he was an art teacher at a college, maybe RISD, Rhode Island School of Design,
Oh, okay.
and a lot of the people who were with him were his students. Um,
Oh.
and he was just like an art inspiration to many people in the art community in Providence.
Mhm.
And their goal was just to kind of stay as long as they could until they got caught, and then they got
Yeah.
caught.
Man.
And he got caught. Michael Townsend got caught,
Okay.
and I don't know if he ever. I don't think anything really happened. I don't even know if he got fined or anything.
Yeah.
But they never, I guess, publicly never knew who the other people were until this movie. They were never, like, found out.
Yeah.
And so they talked to everybody, but they had a little, even though this was 2003, they had a little handheld camera, and there's so much footage of it, and footage of the mall. They go to radio they got the camera at Radio Shack, um, and it's just really cool. I don't know, I really liked the movie, and, it's on Netflix now.
Hmm. I remember I saw it. I feel like it got like a special release or something, like a physical release.
Oh, maybe.
Um, yeah, because I think I had seen it and was thinking about buying it for the library. And yeah, it looked really fascinating. I love the concept of that. I actually didn't know that they got caught. I don't know why. I just kind of assumed they just stopped. Um, but yeah, that's so much fun.
I thought it when I watched it, I thought it was a Netflix documentary, but it's,
Mm,
no offense to Netflix, it's like a real movie, that was made in 2024. And so,
mm,
yeah, it's possible it had a physical release or and limited theatrical release.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, highly recommend. Enjoyable. It's like an hour and a half. They talk to a lot of people, and you get such a comprehensive view of both the area at that time and the people, and then this discussion over, is this art? Like, isn't a what is art? Is art
Right.
art? Are we art? So like you
Yes.
get that discussion as well. So it was very interesting. I liked it.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
So awesome, great. So we've got The Following on Tubi,
Mhm.
Secret Mall Apartment on Netflix, and Eileen on Hulu. Lots of streaming
Okay.
options for us.
Yes.
Well, thank you for listening, and thank you, Amanda, for chatting about all these fabulous things. You can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and you can share us with a friend. So until next time, stay ghosty. Boo bye.
Hey. Bye bye.